Welcome back to the Making Sense of Money podcast presented to you by P1FCU, where we tackle all the financial topics that matter the most to you. I'm your host, Tanis, and today we have a very special guest, Kayla Zenner from the Farmstyle. Kayla went from being a teacher to a full-time content creator, sharing her love for cooking, baking, and farm life. We're super excited to learn about how Kayla turned her passions into business and the financial side of being a digital entrepreneur. So hello, Kayla.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. As you know, I'm very, very, very excited to learn more about what you have to share with us today. As a newer sourdough girly, I am very excited. So thank you again. And can you just tell us a little bit about your background, where you started as a teacher and what made you go in the direction of content creation?
Yeah, of course. So like you said, I used to be a high school math teacher at a area like small school. But while I was pregnant with my second son, our daycare decided to close up shop. And being where we were, we did not have very many daycare options. My options were basically add an extra hour commute to my day or not go back to teaching.
Stay home, yeah.
Stay home. So we actually went into it. My school offered a year unpaid maternity leave. And so we went into it just thinking, let's take the year, figure this out, decide what we're going to do. And then that next spring, I just could not bring myself to go back to teaching full time. I think after having that time home with my kids, it was just so hard to give that up. And so I really dove into figuring out what it is that I can do at home to bring in just that second source of income to be able to continue staying home with my kids.
Sure.
And kind of dabbled in lots of different things, but in my gut, I always knew that social media had potential and I could do something there.
Right. Oh, it's just having like the guts, to actually film and post it. Like that's the biggest thing for me. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to put out there. Like what would I, so that's takes a lot of courage.
It does. I think trying to ignore what you think other people are saying about you is so hard. And it's definitely something I've had to overcome while sharing online.
Totally. How could you not? Yeah. Would you say inspired your content? So like, obviously baking, cooking, and farm life.
Yeah. So it really started with the fact that I wasn't going somewhere to work all day long and I had more time to be home and I was making 3 meals a day plus snacks and stuff like that for my kids. And so I just found myself like, okay, I'm already doing this all day, every day. Why not prop up my phone and start recording? And I found that a lot of people really resonated and liked seeing the content that I was sharing. And I was like, okay, there's something here. I can actually do something with this.
So is that kind of the moment that you decided like, wow, this is no longer just a hobby or something fun for me to do. This is like a thing.
Yeah, I had my first video kind of go viral and I gained almost 20,000 followers in a month.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, okay, there's actually something here and let's see what we can do with it. It wasn't actually until a year after that viral video, though, that I actually made money from a paid partnership. So it was a long way until going viral to making money. So I've done several things in the middle to kind of supplement that. You mentioned sourdough, and I did some local sourdough classes, and that also, I think, kind of got the buzz going.
Yeah,
as
absolutely. I'm self-taught sourdough.
Same.
And fully off of, I shouldn't say self-taught because I'm TikTok taught, because off of pages like yours or other pages that just simplify it and relatable. I've got 2 boys too. Yeah. So it's like, okay, immediately you and I are going to get along. I like her. I'm sharing her. I'm going to share her stuff, like her stuff, favorite it, all the things.
Yes.
So that is really cool that you've created such a relatable space for people. It's super, super fun to go back and look at.
Thank you.
what about challenges you face trying to avoid people's judgment or like,
Yeah, definitely. Just when I first started sharing, just ignoring what people are saying about me or not even like them actually saying it, but the story you make up in your mind that people are talking about you behind your back and stuff like that can be so hard. And that's not even when you start getting like mean comments on top of it. I feel like I've just had to kind of put it into a box and ignore it and just know I, enjoy sharing these recipes and sharing them what our family is doing. And as long as I'm enjoying it, that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
And once I kind of made that decision that it really doesn't matter what other people are saying as long as it is serving me and my family, it's all that really matters.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's a vulnerable thing.
It is.
I mean, you're filming inside your home, of your home.
Yes.
That is something that would be, I think one thing for me would be trying to not be so perfect. Like, you know what? My kitchen's a mess right now. I'm like, what of it? I'm a mom of 2. Judge me if you want to. So that's really cool too that you're able to just be fully relatable. I mean,
I try my best. I have taken a step back from, I used to like share my kids a little bit more. But I had an instance where I was out and about and somebody recognized me because of my kids.
Ugh.
And I was like, okay, this makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a step back and not really share them. And that also, I feel like really helped me feel a little bit more comfortable sharing as well because I'm like, it's just me. It's not my kids.
Yeah. Well, that's a challenge in itself. That the internet is a really scary place for kids.
It can be. Yeah.
And just you never know who's watching your stuff. So that's a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about being a mom and a mom of 2. How do you juggle it all?
Oh, gosh. It's definitely...
You're like, I don't know.
It's definitely juggling and not balancing. I don't think that there ever is 100% balance. It is, I can focus on like 2 things at a time while the other things are up in the air and I'm just hoping they don't fall on the ground, and sometimes they do and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just doing my best to focus on what's most important right now and juggling it. There's definitely, my house is not clean all the time.
How could it be?
Yeah, like there's always something that falls down and it's never balanced correctly.
Yeah. I think it's a really fun thing that your kids can be involved in it too, at least be in the background, like, yelling and screaming. You're like, this is just life.
Yeah.
If your kids aren't trying to help you or, wanting to poke your sourdough and, then that's like not real. So I think that that's cool too, that they get to see you do this. And,
it's so cool. My oldest, he's almost 7, and he grabbed my phone and he propped it up and he was like, I'm gonna show you how I can cut potatoes.
Oh, that's
and,
so
was
cute.
Doing his own video and I'm like, that's so cute.
How adorable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like my mom.
Yeah. So cute.
So your husband runs a generational farm and
does.
That's previewed on your page. So how do you support him and then support basically your family business?
Yeah, for sure. I think one thing that both of us have really come to recognize since I'm not teaching full time is how nice me having flexibility is in my job. And that's one thing that we both have come to really appreciate, that I don't necessarily have to go and be somewhere every single day from 9 to 5. I have the flexibility that if he needs me to go and shuttle him between fields, it's okay. I don't have, unless I do have like a strict deadline, but usually I have really good flexibility that as long as I get my videos filmed for the week that need to go out, I can do that any day of the week. And it doesn't have to be a specific day. So that flexibility has been a game changer that we didn't realize we needed until we actually had it.
Right. I love that. What's a typical day look like for you and your family? It depends, I'm sure.
It definitely depends. Most days I get up with my kids. We get ready. I take my oldest to school. And then we come home and I get my youngest set up and he plays and stuff like that while I either sometimes if I have a video to film, I really try and film when I have really good lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really depends. If like the sun's out, I'm like, okay, let's go make something really quick so we
Right.
can have good lighting. Or I'll do a little bit of computer work and then I try and put it away. I try not to be on my phone and my computer all day long, even though it's very hard. I'm like, it's right there. It's so easy. But I also still have my youngest at home all day long, and I don't want him seeing me staring at a screen all day long if I can help it.
Yeah, that was going to be one thing I was going to ask you, because how impossible, especially when people are interacting with you constantly all day long. How are you supposed to be disconnected from that? Or, you know, that's another challenge in itself.
For sure.
And good for you for being so aware of that.
Yeah, for sure. My youngest still has, well, he just quit naps, so we're navigating that.
How fun for you.
It's so fun. I used to get like a 2-hour afternoon window where I was kid-free to get work done. Now we're transitioning to quiet time where he is supposed to be playing in his room, but usually in and out. But
oh, for sure. He
it
wants
does
to see
give me a little bit of uninterrupted time to work.
Absolutely. He wants to know what mom's up to.
For sure.
What about platforms? You're on TikTok, Instagram. I don't know if you really do much with Facebook.
I mean, I'm on Facebook, but it's not one of my priorities. I'd say TikTok, Instagram, and my website are kind of the 3 areas that I focus in on the most. Mainly because those are the ones I've been able to monetize the best.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And that's kind of what another question I had for you.
Yeah.
Is, you know, how do you monetize your platform or platforms? And what works best for you?
So the first one that I really started to monetize was actually my website. I got in with an ad network, and so they display ads onto my website where people find my recipes and stuff like that. And that's been a really great source of income.
That seems simple.
It's so simple. What I really focused in on growing my website to have enough views to get on with one of those ad partnerships. The other way that I monetize is I do brand partnerships. So I have different brands that reach out to me to create content to share onto my social media pages. And I get paid to do those as well.
Yeah, explain that a little bit. Like, how does that work? Is it stuff that you are fully interested? Do you accept it only if you're interested in it?
Yeah, I turn down several options probably every single day. And so part of it is I'm reaching out to brands, and brands are also reaching out to me. And so usually if we can agree on, like, we both want to work together and agree on a price, then we work together. They usually have a specific product that they want me to, like, create a recipe around or share about. And that's kind of how that works.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's so fun.
How has the approach with money and just your view on money changed since teaching and then, you know, heading into things like content creation? I'm sure it's changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say one thing that I've had to wrap my head around is investing money into myself and learning different things, because obviously teaching and social media are totally different in what it is that you need to know to share. And so just investing in, like, different classes to teach me how to take better pictures, or ways to reach out to brands, or even just investing in a virtual assistant to help me do some of the tasks that need to get done. I just don't physically have the hours in the day to do it. Is never something that I would have done while I was teaching. Like, I have to, when I was teaching, go and do continuing education. And I do view, like, the investments I make into it, but typically those weren't things that I personally was paying for besides, like, a college credit.
Right.
A lot of those were free for me to do, or my school district would pay for me to do those. And so realizing that I need to spend money to invest into the business was kind of a way I really had to wrap my mind around that.
Sure. Yeah, because that's like it's your career.
It
You're
is.
building it, and it's up to you to decide how much you want to invest.
Just trying to decide how to balance. I'm making this much. How much do I want to bet on it returning on its investment?
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that you don't really have to think about if you're not running a business.
Right. If it's laid out for you, here's what you have to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's also really neat too for viewers and fans of yours, because you took the time to go to these classes and invest in yourself, as you say, which is really reassuring for those who are watching and like trying to do the things off of somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's really reassuring. Oh my. If I was looking to start a side hustle with social media, what would you suggest on how to start?
Consistency. It is so easy to look at somebody and see that they have grown a following and just think that it's luck and it's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, really hard to consistently post content when you're not getting like the return. Like I posted for almost a year before I got like my first viral video, and then another year after that before I even started making money off of it. So in that 2-year time where I'm dedicating trying to make social media return on investment, I'm still staying consistent even though I'm not seeing that return, which can be so frustrating.
Yeah.
And I see so many people that give up. Like they post for 3 months and they're like, okay, well, this isn't doing anything for me. I'm just going to give up because obviously I'm just not the lucky one.
Or like we're not in a good area.
Exactly.
Or my videos aren't reaching people. And if we wanted to learn more about you and stay connected with you, where can we find you?
Yeah, of course. On all of the social medias, I'm really on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I'm the Farmstyle. And then my website is just kaylazenner.com. And you can find all of my fun recipes on all of those platforms.
And new cookbook.
Yes. And I have my cookbook that I launched this last fall that has just all of our family's favorite recipes in there. And I just wanted to have one spot that I knew personally. I don't like reading recipes off of websites. I like to have it like physically in front of me. And I'm like, I'm going to take all of the recipes that I'm constantly cooking for my family and put them in here. 1, so that I can have it, but 2, so everybody else can also have it and know that they're tried and true recipes.
Yeah. Oh, how cool is that? I bet your family is so proud, like seeing like old recipes that have been passed down. Like, how cool.
Yeah, it's so fun. My husband gets messages from people all the time. He's like, I'm trying your wife's so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
That is really neat.
It is.
Did you have to like ask for approval? Were you like, Grandma, can I use this cookie recipe or whatever?
I don't really have any like passed down recipes that I have used.
Gotcha. So it's like just your family, like in your house.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Well, that's really cool. That makes it even better. And then your kids can pass those down.
Yes.
Oh, that's so fun to think about.
So fun.
I love that. I do have one last question for you. And it's one question that we ask all of our guests. And that is, what is one thing you wish you would have known about money earlier in life?
Yeah, I really wish I knew the value of compounding interest.
Oh.
Like knowing that if you take money, set it aside, and just let compounding interest do the growth for you, how much that can return on your money in the long run.
Yeah.
Is only something I've recently really started to wrap my head around. And I'm like, if I would have known this at 20, like, how much growth could I have gotten in those years?
Investing in yourself.
Yes.
Theme of the day.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Kayla, for being here and sharing all your insight and your tips and tricks and just being you, because it's been really great for me and I know everybody else agrees. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And as always, thank you to everybody for tuning in. We hope you learned something new today and feel one step closer to making sense of money. Don't forget to subscribe and check out our newsletter at p1fcu.org. We'll see you next time.